Hello and welcome back to White Collar Woker. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about two gentlemen that have served the role as opposition for this year. It's Mike Graham and Peter Hitchens. Those two have been chatting away for the last 8 months on talk radio. And the reason why I'm making this video is because where has Labour been? Labour is the other party in this strange UK system where we have MPs that need to make a case against the government, and the opposition, Keir Starmer and his opposition, were those people that needed to make that case. And they haven't really served as an opposition to the core tenet of lockdowns, because that has been the policy the Conservative government has brought in this year in order to combat coronavirus. Now, what Labour has said is that the certain way that it's been implemented has been wrong. Keir Starmer has said that you should have gone into lockdown earlier in certain parts. He also said you need to go into lockdown for longer, you need to follow the science. But Keir Starmer, and it doesn't seem like any Labour MPs, have had an argument as to why there shouldn't be a lockdown at all. Lockdowns seem to be this policy that has absolutely no empirical evidence behind it, but it's just assumed to be correct. It's assumed to be true with absolutely no evidence to back that up. But the two people that have been opposition to government has been Peter Hitchens and Mike Graham, and they disagreed on the first lockdown back in March about whether or not that was necessary. Mike Graham argued that it could have been a terrible, terrible disease, far worse than the one we have at the moment, and a lockdown was a precautionary measure, flattening the curve, remember all of that. Whereas Peter Hitchens argued from the very start that lockdowns were ineffective. And I think that Peter has turned out to be correct in that assumption, because lockdowns seem to not have much of a correlation between less infections. For example, in the summer we had absolutely zero lockdowns. In fact, we were encouraged to eat out to help out, and the infections went extremely low. Whereas in the past 2 weeks, in the middle of December, we're in tier 4 lockdown, which is pretty much a lockdown, and we're getting more cases. I think it was 30,000 cases last week. So it's nothing to do with the lockdowns. It seems to be a seasonal issue, and it seems to be the fact that coronavirus is a respiratory disease that doesn't behave like the flu. It has more severe symptoms than the flu for people who have combined health issues such as diabetes, obesity, cancer, Alzheimer's, dementia. So I think that this year that Mike Graham and Peter Hitchens can look back and be proud of what they've done, because Labour hasn't been the opposition. The SNP, funnily enough, have been more of an opposition, but on the Brexit side. SNP are looking to oppose the Brexit deal. Whereas Labour even vetoed, they didn't participate in the coronavirus lockdown vote, which I just find absolutely crazy. So yeah, that was my opinion on Mike Graham and Peter Hitchens. This is White Collar Woker. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.